If you're watching this video, it's no coincidence. Thoth left a coded message, a sound frequency capable of reversing your biological age. I'm not going to tell you what the frequency is now. First, I'm going to prove to you that your body is already ready to receive it. Take a deep breath, relax your shoulders. Now, close your eyes for a moment and silently repeat this phrase. My body remembers your perfection. Don't just think it, feel the phrase. Notice the slight change in your energy, a feeling of calm or a subtle warmth in your chest. There you go. You've just sent a new command to your cells. They respond to your intention, not the calendar. This is the first delivery. You felt the change. Now, I'm going to show you why your body's clock is racing and how a lie you've been told is shortening your life. Later, I'll give you the simple tools to prepare your system for the big change. And only when your body is aligned will I reveal Thoth's message and how to use it to unlock 10 years of rejuvenation. If you feel you're ready for this change, comment now. My body hears the signal. Stay with me, because hearing the message without the right preparation not only doesn't work, but it can be ignored by your DNA. Let's begin. The cell is a belief-driven machine. Right now, something silent and profound is happening inside you. It's not a fantasy, it's not a suggestion, it's a real biological event. Your cells, the fundamental units of your existence, are beginning to vibrate in a new harmony, unlike anything they have ever experienced. It's as if an ancient song, a cellular memory that has been dormant for ages, is being played again. You may even feel a slight tingling, a subtle warmth running through your body, or perhaps a strange and inexplicable feeling that you already knew this, that you were waiting for this moment. Imagine your genetic code as an incredibly complex vault, full of potentials and abilities that have been locked away and forgotten. This cosmic frequency is the exact combination needed to start turning the gears of that vault. It is not random. It is not a blind natural phenomenon. It was sent with a clear intention, a secret that has been guarded by ancient civilizations and that is now, finally, being revealed to those who are ready to listen. The number of years you've lived is merely a linear measure of time, a social convention created to organize society. But your body doesn't operate based on days, months, or years. It functions with a completely different clock. An internal clock that doesn't respond to time, but rather to the frequency and information it receives. Your true age isn't a fixed number, but an energetic state that can be altered. Ancient teachings, attributed to figures like Thoth, the scribe of the Egyptian gods, spoke of this millennia ago. They knew that the human body was much more than a piece of flesh and bone. They understood that our DNA held secrets to longevity and vitality. One of these secrets lies at the ends of our chromosomes in structures that modern science calls telomeres. Current medicine sees them as a simple countdown clock, shortening with each cell division until the cell can no longer replicate and dies. But that's a terribly limited view. According to this ancient wisdom, telomeres are much more than that. They are like biological antennas, receivers and transmitters of energy and consciousness. They don't just measure time, they respond to your internal state. When you live in a state of fear, stress, and negativity, these antennas shrink, accelerating the aging process. Science confirms that stress shortens telomeres, but it stops there. It doesn't tell you the other half of the story, the most important part. The truth is that under the right conditions, this process can not only be interrupted, but reversed. When your consciousness rises, when you cultivate emotions like gratitude, love, and joy, these biological antennas begin to expand again. They receive a different frequency, an order to stop the decay process and initiate regeneration. Your body has the ability to rebuild its own telomeres, to rejuvenate at the cellular level. This ability is a birthright, an original function of our genetic blueprint. So why don't we do this all the time? Why do we age and get sick? The answer is uncomfortable but necessary. This capacity has been deliberately sabotaged. An ancient program, a kind of energetic and genetic block, was inserted into our system long ago. The goal was simple: to ensure that humanity remained in a low-frequency state, trapped in fear and survival, so that these ideal conditions for regeneration would almost never be achieved. It was a way to keep us limited, to make us forget our true potential. This programming works subtly behind the scenes of our biology and is reinforced by everything around us: the culture of fear, the belief in scarcity, the idea that we are fragile and powerless. But this ancient programming is beginning to fail. The same cosmic frequency that your body received is acting as a decoder, a removal software that is dismantling this blockage. And now you will understand exactly how this program, this virus in our DNA, works and why it is losing its power over you. The virus is in our DNA. This programming that sabotages our regenerative capacity is not a flaw of nature. Think of it as a computer virus, a malicious code installed in the human body's operating system millennia ago. Accelerated aging, chronic diseases, the feeling that the body is a burden that wears down with time. None of this is entirely natural. It's the result of this program running silently in our DNA, generation after generation. The goal of this virus has always been the same: to limit our power and our connection to our true essence. It keeps us trapped in a cycle of physical fragility and, more importantly, fear. A body that ages and becomes ill is a body that fears death, that feels vulnerable and dependent. And a consciousness trapped in fear is much easier to control. This cellular self-destruction program is not activated by an external factor, but by an internal trigger. It is directly fueled by your emotions. Every time you feel guilt, shame, resentment, or chronic stress, you are unknowingly providing the energy this virus needs to operate. These low-frequency emotions create a biochemical environment in your body that is toxic to cells. They release hormones like cortisol, which in excess cause inflammation, suppress the immune system, and accelerate cell death. You literally corrode yourself from the inside every time you indulge in these negative states for too long. The system was designed so that the human mind itself becomes the guardian of its biological prison, causing us to activate the aging program day after day. But here's the big news, the twist in the story. This program is becoming obsolete. The vibrational frequency of our planet is rising in an unprecedented way. It's as if Earth's operating system is receiving a major upgrade, and the old virus is no longer compatible with the new system. This change is creating fault lines in this limiting genetic code. The biological prison that has held us back for so long is beginning to rust and fall apart from the inside out. By receiving this message and feeling its resonance within your being, you are on the front line of this liberation. Your own consciousness is acting as an antivirus. By opening yourself to the possibility that you can change, that aging is not your destiny, you begin to cut off the program's energy source. Liberation will not come from the outside, but from within. And the antidote to this cellular poison is not a magic pill or a futuristic treatment that costs a fortune. It already exists, silently pulsing in the most protected and powerful place in your body. It's an internal technology, a source of pure energy designed to completely neutralize the effects of this genetic virus. This antidote has been there all along, patiently waiting for the moment you were ready to rediscover it and consciously activate it. And that place isn't your mind, but rather the secret reactor you carry in your chest. The antidote to the aging virus is stored in the center of your chest. There resides a biological reactor of almost limitless power: your heart. We have been taught to think of the heart as a simple blood pump, a mechanical organ vital for survival. But that is a grossly incomplete description. Your heart is, in fact, the most powerful electromagnetic field generator in your body, thousands of times stronger than the field generated by the brain. It emits energy that permeates each of its more than 30 trillion cells. When you learn to use your breath and, more importantly, your intention to focus your attention on the energy of your heart, something incredible happens. You stop generating a chaotic field and begin to emit a coherent and harmonious frequency. It's like exchanging the noise of an out-of-tune radio station for the clarity of a perfectly tuned symphony. This wave of coherence spreads throughout your body in seconds, carrying a new instruction to each cell, the instruction to stop decay and begin repair. This is the frequency that effectively reprograms the virus of aging. It neutralizes the toxic biochemical environment created by stress and fear, and creates a new environment rich in beneficial hormones that promote regeneration and vitality. Thousands of people around the world are already using simple techniques of focusing on the heart, conscious breathing, and cultivating elevated emotions such as gratitude, and are reporting changes that conventional science still struggles to explain. Skin becomes more vibrant, energy levels soar, chronic pain decreases, and a general sense of well-being takes over. They're not doing anything magical. They're simply accessing a dormant internal energy source, a biological reactor designed to keep us young and healthy. By activating your heart, you're taking control of your body's master panel. You stop being a passenger in the aging process and become the pilot, able to adjust the frequency and direction of your biological journey. It's the first and most crucial step in reclaiming power over your own health and longevity. But activating the heart is only the beginning of the journey. Think of it as the ignition key that starts the main engine. Once this central reactor is online and operating coherently, it begins to send energy and awaken other secondary power centers in your body. These are internal portals, command systems that control even deeper and more specific aspects of your regenerative capacity. They were in standby mode, waiting for the heart signal to be reactivated. These portals are glands that modern science often underestimates or simply ignores, considering them useless vestiges of our evolution. However, they are, in fact, pieces of highly advanced biological technology, true magical glands that, when awakened, can take the rejuvenation process to a level bordering on science fiction. And now let's explore how these internal portals work and what happens when they return to operating at their full capacity. The magical glands that science ignored. Once the reactor in your heart is activated, it begins to awaken an internal technology that seems to have come straight out of a science fiction movie. At the very center of your brain, there is a small pine cone-shaped gland, the pineal gland. Ancient traditions called it the third eye, the seat of the soul, a portal to other dimensions. Modern science recognizes it primarily for its melatonin production, but its real function is much deeper. It is a cosmic antenna, designed to receive light codes and information of higher frequencies. The problem is that in most people, this gland is calcified. Years of exposure to toxins in the environment, water and food, in addition to a constant bombardment of artificial frequencies, have created a hard shell around it, severely limiting its function. However, the new energies that are bathing the planet, combined with the coherent frequency emitted by your activated heart, are acting as an energetic solvent. They are gradually breaking down this calcification, allowing the pineal gland to once again receive the light data packets that contain the instructions for cellular regeneration. Going down a little further, behind your breastbone, just above your heart, lies another mysterious gland, the thymus. Conventional medicine tells us that the thymus is crucial for the immune system in childhood, but that it atrophies and loses its function in adulthood. This is another dangerous half-truth. The thymus does not atrophy naturally. It enters a dormant state due to lack of use and energy. In fact, it is the command center of your rejuvenation system, the source of your vital energy. When your heart rate reactivates the thymus, it comes back to life. It begins to produce T cells again, the elite soldiers of your immune system, but in a much more potent way. Your immunity strengthens to extraordinary levels, your vitality multiplies, and your body begins to produce an energy that manifests as a youthful glow. Reactivating the thymus is one of the best-kept secrets of longevity. It is the engine that drives youth from the inside out, regardless of your chronological age. If lately you've been experiencing strange sensations such as pressure in your head, high-pitched ringing in your ears, or subtle vibrations in your body, especially at night, don't panic. It's not a sign of illness. On the contrary, these are symptoms of an upgrade. They are signs that your internal systems, such as the pineal gland and thymus, are being recalibrated. It's as if a maintenance team is working on your energy system while you sleep, removing old blockages and installing the new software updates needed for the next level of operation. All this hardware work, the reactivation of the heart, and these magical glands serves a greater purpose. It prepares your body for the next phase of transformation, the most important of all. It prepares you to take conscious control of the software that runs in your system. It prepares you to become the master programmer of your own genes, using the most powerful tool you possess, your own consciousness. Reactivating these glands prepares your body for the most liberating truth of all. Your genes are not your destiny. They are not a definitive sentence that determines your health and appearance. Cutting-edge science, known as epigenetics, is finally beginning to prove what ancient sages always knew. Your genes are like a giant control panel with millions of switches that can be turned on and off. And the fingers that press those switches are your thoughts, your beliefs, and above all, your emotions. Every time you allow yourself to feel genuine gratitude, joy, peace, or unconditional love, you are sending a biochemical signal to your body. This signal travels to the nucleus of each cell and activates genes associated with repair, longevity, and the production of collagen and elastin. You literally flip the youth switches. Your cells receive the order to regenerate, strengthen, and function at their optimal state. Happiness is not just a mental state, it's a biological command for rejuvenation. On the other hand, the reverse is also true. Every time you look in the mirror with disapproval and think I'm getting old, look at that wrinkle, my body is falling apart, you are sending a direct order to your cells. It's a powerful command they have no choice but to obey. You are activating genes associated with inflammation, degeneration, and cell death. Your thoughts and words are not harmless. They are the source code that programs your biological reality every second. The time has come to stop running the aging program that society and your own conditioned mind have installed in you. It's time to start writing a new code. Begin making conscious and powerful declarations about your body and your health. Upon waking, instead of looking for flaws, look in the mirror and declare, "My body regenerates perfectly every day. I am the expression of vitality and eternal youth." At first, your mind may resist, but persistence creates new neural pathways and new biochemical realities. This mastery over your inner landscape, over what you think and feel, is the key to the most profound transformation of all. It's not about superficial positive thinking, but about a conscious re-engineering of your own biology. You cease to be a victim of your genetics and become the master programmer of your genome. You take control of the helm and begin to navigate your body towards health and vitality, instead of letting it drift towards decay. And it is precisely this mastery over your own consciousness that allows the most extraordinary process of all to happen. A transformation that goes beyond biology as we know it. A profound alchemy described by Thoth and other ancient masters. A fundamental restructuring of your physical body that is the true cause behind the promised 10-year rejuvenation. And now we will reveal exactly how this restructuring works. Thoth's message and the restructuring of the body. Now we come to the central revelation, the core of Thoth's message decoded for our times. The 10-year biological rejuvenation is not a metaphor, it is not an exaggeration. It is the direct and measurable result of a process that is happening now at a subatomic level within your body. This process is called adamantine restructuring. It is a form of light technology, guided by a superior and benevolent intelligence that is fundamentally altering the very basis of your physical structure. Think of your body as a house built with carbon bricks. Carbon has been the basis of biological life on this planet for ages. However, this carbon-based structure is dense and has a limited capacity to retain light and energy, making it susceptible to aging and decay. Adamantine restructuring is an alchemical process that is subtly transforming these carbon bricks, atom by atom, into a silicon-based crystalline structure. It's the transmutation of lead into gold, but happening within your own cells. A body with a more crystalline structure is like a light bulb that replaces an old, weak filament with a fiber optic one. It becomes capable of conducting and retaining much more light, much more vital energy. This greater capacity to retain energy is what drives the drastic reversal of the aging process. Cells no longer need to fight for energy to sustain themselves. They are bathed in an abundant source, allowing them to repair and replicate perfectly as they did in their youth. That is why rejuvenation happens. And that's not all. Simultaneously with this structural change, something else is being activated. Modern science has mapped the human genome and concluded that more than 95% of our DNA has no apparent function, labeling it junk DNA. This is perhaps the greatest arrogance of modern science. This DNA is not junk. It is an instruction manual for capabilities we consider superhuman. A set of programs that were deactivated long ago, and now they are being reactivated. Each of the DNA strands being reactivated connects you to a higher dimension of consciousness and new biological abilities. The capacity to regenerate tissues and organs at an accelerated rate, the spontaneous healing of diseases considered incurable, a heightened intuition bordering on telepathy. All of this is encoded in this DNA that has been called junk DNA. Thoth's message is clear and urgent. This restructuring and reactivation process is not something that will happen in the future. It is happening now. The good news is that you don't just have to sit and wait for it to happen. You can actively participate and accelerate this metamorphosis. You can use simple and sacred tools, technologies of consciousness that have always been available to you, but which have been forgotten or ridiculed by our materialistic society. And it is these practical tools that will allow you to integrate this transformation more quickly and smoothly, maximizing the results in your biology. To accelerate this internal restructuring, you don't need complicated machines, expensive pills, or mystical rituals. The most powerful and effective tools are the elements of nature themselves, when used with awareness and intention. These are simple technologies, accessible to everyone, that enhance the transformation already underway in your body. The first and most fundamental of these tools is water, the element that makes up more than 70% of your body. But this isn't just any water, this is programmed water. Science has already demonstrated that water is a liquid crystal capable of retaining information and frequency. Before drinking a glass of water, hold it with both hands for a few seconds. Close your eyes and project pure feelings of love, gratitude, and perfect health from your heart into the water. Imagine the water shining with a golden light. By doing this, you are transforming it into an elixir of life, a liquid medicine that will carry this new programming directly into each of your cells. The second tool is the sun. We have been taught to fear the sun, to hide from it. But the sun, especially in the early morning hours, is not just a burning ball of gas. It is a conscious being that transmits data packets, light codes that are essential for the activation of our crystalline DNA. Expose your skin to morning sunlight for just 5 or 10 minutes without sunscreen. Do this with the conscious intention of absorbing these codes, of allowing your skin, your largest organ, to act as a solar panel to recharge your energy matrix. The third tool, and perhaps the most powerful and challenging of all, is forgiveness. Every hurt, every resentment, every bit of anger you hold against someone or against yourself creates an energetic knot in your field and releases a cascade of toxic biochemistry into your body. This emotional poison is one of the biggest accelerators of aging. Forgiving is not an act of weakness or of agreeing with what happened. It is an act of self-preservation. It is cutting the chains that bind you to a low-frequency energy. By truly forgiving, you release an immense amount of stagnant energy, allowing a wave of healing and regeneration to flow through your body. It's like removing a dam that prevented the river of life from flowing freely. Each act of forgiveness is a giant step towards rejuvenation. These practices are not merely symbolic gestures. They are concrete actions that alter your physiology and prepare your body and consciousness for the next, more spectacular stage of transformation. These simple tools clear the ground, remove energetic debris, and prepare your physical and energetic structure for the main event. They align you with the frequency of your highest version, the perfect version of you that already exists in a higher dimension. They prepare you for the great merging, the moment when your physical self begins to unite with your divine self, resulting in a transformation that was once considered the stuff of legends. Finding your perfect version. All this preparation, the activation of the heart, the cleansing of the glands, and the use of sacred tools, serves to align you with an impressive concept. In a higher frequency dimension, a perfect version of you already exists. Imagine a divine blueprint, a body of light that is the purest and most ideal expression of your being. This energetic body never ages, never gets sick, and vibrates in a constant state of perfect health and vitality. This is not poetic fantasy. It is your real energetic counterpart, existing right now. The process we call ascension or rejuvenation is, in essence, a process of merging. As you raise your own frequency here in the physical dimension, through working with your emotions, thoughts, and intentions, you decrease the vibrational distance between your physical body and that divine blueprint. You begin to resonate with your perfect version. It's like tuning a radio. The more precise your tuning, the clearer the music you hear. The spontaneous rejuvenation that so many people